Hey everybody, this is Keith. I'm here with another bike review today. This is my friend Victoria's 2008 Yamaha XT250. It's one of those bikes that I think a lot of people overlook because they think it's too much of a beginner bike or too underpowered. But I'm going to have Victoria talk about just what an incredible bike it is and how she uses it for adventure touring, adventure riding, single track, double track, whatever. So let's go to Victoria.
Hey Keith, good morning.
Hey Vic. So this is your bike. I've seen a lot of this over the years. I know you take this any place. I take my KLR and it goes with the big bikes and the small bikes. So I thought people would be interested to hear more about this bike. So what are the basics on it?
Let me tell you about the bike. It's a 2008 Yamaha XT250. This is the carbureted version. This is one of the more simple or basic varieties of dual sport bike out there where it doesn't have a radiator, so it's air cooled, carbureted. The later model of this bike did end up having fuel injection as of 2013.
Okay.
Which is a nice plus, but a carbureted works great too.
Okay.
This has been a great bike to me. It has 26,000 of my miles on it.
Wow.
I bought it new in 2008.
Okay.
And it has been so reliable. I have taken it on just about every terrain, hard forest trails, adventure touring up to Mount Washington.
Wow.
So it's been a very reliable bike, and I think a lot of people, as you said, overlook the bike.
Right.
So let me go over some of the basics of the bike and what I've done to it.
Okay.
Again, 250cc motor.
Right.
One of the oldest in the Yamaha line.
Okay.
By the way, so the bike hasn't been modified that much from its inception, just style updates. One thing nice about this bike, it has trials steering angle. So
Okay.
it's over 150 degrees, so you can do slow speed maneuvers with it quite easily. It's
Okay.
one of the largest steering angles out there.
Okay.
This type of trials bike. So
Okay.
really neat feature on this little bike.
Mhm.
I think it has it. To start, we've got a lot of safety features on this bike as well as navigation and protection features, so I wanted to bring those out to you.
Okay.
I put an HID headlight system with a ballast in. It's made by DDM.
Okay.
And it has a 55 watt HID bright white 5000K light in it.
Wow.
So with a small bike like this, it's really important to make sure that you're visible.
Yeah.
Because you
Yep.
fit right in someone's blind spot. So
Right.
that was one of the first things I did to the bike, just
Okay.
to make it safe.
Now, was that something that is a do-it-yourselfer, or did you
Brought
take?
that to the shop.
Yeah.
It was about $100.
Okay.
And labor was about an hour.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
It wasn't that hard to install. Very worthwhile
Yeah.
modification.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that also works on high and low beam.
Oh, okay.
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 So next thing I did is I went to Yamaha Genuine Accessories and I purchased my protection for the bike.
Okay.
I got a bash plate. This is one of the first things you always want to do when outfitting a dual sport bike for off-road. This protects your engine, your oil pump. Really, without this bash plate, my engine would have been toast, probably about 20,000 miles ago.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
really important thing to have.
Right.
Also, for protection, I put on these Barkbusters Handguards. I know you have a set on your KLR as
Yep,
well.
yep.
They work great. You can get them at Twisted Throttle.
Yeah.
And I've had, as you can see, a few scrapes with them, and you can see I have all my digits, so I'm totally fine.
Right. No broken levers.
Yeah,
Right.
and they've saved me in quite a few spills. So definitely something you want to consider having on your bike.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have these side racks are also from Yamaha Genuine Accessories. Now these side racks are for really luggage,
Okay.
but they also act as protection if the
Yeah.
bike falls over. In addition to this side, there's a rack on this side which protects your muffler.
Oh, great.
So,
Okay.
That's a really nice thing to have as well.
Now, what would you put on there? Like a soft bag?
When I travel overnight, I have an SW Motech Bags Connection cargo bag, and it kind of drapes over
Okay.
the back seat. It's waterproof. Great bag to travel with. I've traveled up to 5 days with it.
Wow.
So
Wow, okay.
this is my Ogio Tail Bag, and this is a day pack. I keep my EMT supplies in here because I happen to be a rescue rider too, and it fits everything fine, and it can expand as well up to 1.5 inches
Okay.
if you have to carry anything additional. So good day pack to have on there,
Yeah.
and I've really enjoyed having it.
How much does something like that run? Do you have
This
any?
one's not bad. It's about $75. You
Okay.
can buy it on Amazon or a number of other retailers.
It just straps right to the back part of the seat.
Yep, it
Yeah.
straps here, and then it straps to actually a tail rack, which is also another Yamaha genuine part, and you can't see it too well underneath this, but the thing I like about the Yamaha genuine accessories, even though they're hard to get, you got to order them through Canada.
Okay.
They fit the bike. You don't have to worry about fitting something aftermarket and having it be a problem.
Yep.
So this has been a great rack, and you know, I take this bike through a lot of severe terrain, and I need to know I still have my stuff, because I'll have my luggage, and I will have my toolkit, which for any dual sporter is a must-have on the trail.
Absolutely.
Because things can go wrong.
Right.
This toolkit is actually a Fender mount toolkit, but I use it on the back of my bike. It's by Cruz tools.
Okay.
And it's about $115, and you can also get this on Amazon or a number of retailers. And I have everything in here to fix this bike on the fly.
Okay.
Including tire kit, you know, for the cartridges for inflating the tire, and all the tools I need for the basic repairs that might happen along the way. So really good thing. I suggest it to everybody. Going through the rest of my luggage, another need to have for me anyway is a tank bag. And I went with Wolfman. Wolfman is known in the industry as one of the best outfitters for dual sport and adventure bike riding for luggage. And this thing holds my camera, my water, a flashlight, some maps. If I need something for my sunglasses, it's just great to have things right at your fingertips. So another good thing to have. Another thing I have on the bike is a GPS mounting system. This is a RAM mount with a GPS cradle made by Garmin to fit my Zumo 550. And it's hardwired to the battery. So as soon as I turn the bike on, the Garmin comes on. Which is really convenient.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Yeah, that's great. It's hard to beat that system.
You know, other than those few things, I'm trying to look around the bike to see what else I've done. The bike is pretty much stock. This is the stock seat, which for the first 10,000 miles, it was mildly uncomfortable. But I think it's worn in. We've really gotten to know each other well, and I think it works for me now. So I didn't have to upgrade the seat, which is another very popular modification.
Absolutely. We were talking the other day about your suspension, and I know you've taken on some really rough terrain, and I was really surprised to hear what you've done to it, which is basically just keep the stock parts on it. Yeah.
I happen to be a lighter rider, you know, of the range of riders that use this bike. So I haven't compressed it as much as, you know, you'd say a 190-pound, you know, rider would. So I think I've been able to get some good wear out of it. I did some, you know, regular maintenance to the bike, and at just about the 20-some thousand mile mark, I was ready for new suspension front and back. So I changed out the rear shock, again, used the OEM shock, and I put new oil and springs in the front. Because it was just getting a little too cushy in the trails, and I was absorbing too much through the bike. So I put the OEM back on. Bike runs great once again. A couple other things I did as far as maintenance goes, just to tell people how kind of things wear on this bike. I did replace the sprockets in the chain about 17,000 miles. And you know, the sprockets were well shark-toothed at that point. But 17,000 miles is pretty good.
Pretty good for the use you put it through. And
about 24,000 miles, I did end up changing the clutch.
Okay.
This is the first clutch I've ever blown through, but I'm a little abusive on the clutch with wheelies and such, so it was expected. But outside of that, I'm pretty religious about doing my oil at every 3,000 miles, since I run the bike long and hard. It's really essential to really check your oil, make sure that your oil is fresh all the time. As far as tires go, I currently run the Bridgestone Trailwing 301 302s. And these are a little bit on the worn side, so they look kind of low. They're almost ready for a new set. But they've been a great all-around tire for road as well as off-road. The only thing this tire does not like to do is mud. So I will caution anybody out there, if you have really muddy terrain, stay away from this tire. But for everything else, it's supreme. So been really happy with the tires. But overall, this is really a great bike, and I think it's really underrated by many people. They think it's a beginner bike. I'm a very technical, advanced rider, and this bike suits me wonderfully. I happen to have a shorter inseam. My inseam is 29 inches. So I'm not able to go for the great KTMs and Husqvarnas and Husabergs and great trail bikes. This bike, believe it or not, can keep up with those bikes in the woods.
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, at the end of this video, I'll throw in some shots that we did last day or so of you in action. you know, riding 50 miles an hour down dirt roads, getting air. I mean, the technical roads, the fast roads, whatever. And I've ridden with you enough to see that this bike is, you know, the only thing it doesn't have on the KLR is just the top end speed on a straightaway. But in the twisties or on the road, it keeps pace really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about? Oh, go ahead.
About the most you could expect on a good day is about 73 miles per
73.
hour for the GPS.
Okay. Okay.
So that's about the top end of it. But
Yeah.
there's really, for the type of riding that I do, there's really no need to go above that.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, that you've left it mostly stock, the suspension, the muffler, the seat, you know, and out of the box, it's a really outstanding product, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Kudos to Yamaha.
Yeah. So it seems like it's really a good bike for a beginner, but also a good bike for someone who's more advanced and just looking for something lighter and reasonable. Can you talk about just what these bikes cost generally?
Sure. They are a little bit more expensive than their 250 dual sport counterparts. They're about $5,100 today, but remember that $5,100 pays for fuel injection, as you know, as well as a couple other small upgrades to the bike since this model.
Okay.
This model, I think it was about $4,500 when I bought it in 2008 before taxes and fees.
Okay.
So, but it is a very quality made bike. Yamaha
Right.
produces a lot of quality product, and you know, I don't work for Yamaha, but I'll tell you, I have been so impressed with the brand. So I hope people really consider them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, considering the miles, you have a lot of miles on for dual sport, and without any mechanical issues, just maintenance. I mean, it's pretty outstanding value. Yeah.
I think
Great.
so. I've
Yeah.
gotten my money's worth, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Vic. Well, thanks for taking the time to tell everyone about the Yamaha XT250, and I guess we'll see you on the road.
Sounds great.
All
Thanks,
right.
Steve.
You're welcome.
Yeah, do it.